Hello, everyone. This is Calvin Russell, CEO and founder of 850 Club Credit. Hope everyone's doing well today. Today, we're going to talk about the three biggest mistakes that people build, or really just beginners do to build their credit. All right, let's go straight into it. So the first mistake that I'm always seeing is the overratedness of being an authorized user on someone else's credit card account. There's nothing wrong with doing that, okay? But the thing is that people just say, hey, you got a credit card? Okay, cool, go ahead and add me on. You want to make sure that you're asking multiple questions. You need to know what the limit is that they're, but not necessarily the limit, more so the balance versus the limit. So you may want to ask them their utilization. Most people in 2022 have an idea of what utilization is. And if they don't, that's fine. Just ask them what the limit is and what their balance is, because sometimes as beginners, we'll add ourselves as authorized users on someone else's account, but without knowing that their balance to limit, or also known as utilization ratio, is over 30%. So what ends up happening is that you only get a few points or no points at all, or sometimes it may even lose points if you're not asking enough questions. For example, I had a person that was inches away from homeownership, and I said, okay, all we got to do is, X, Y, Z. And then they said, oh, well, I don't think I have to do that. And I said, well, why is that? They said, well, I just got added to my dad's credit card. I said, okay, great. Well, what's the utilization? Oh, I didn't ask them that. Oh, what about the payment history? Oh, I didn't ask that either. And she went from only needing about 12 points or so to end up needing now 47 points. Why it was that? Actually, it's about 45 points, 45 or 46. But either way, but why is that? Because he actually had a recent late payment, and that payment history then transferred over to her credit report. Okay, guys. So things do happen, even to good people. Sometimes auto pay, the auto pay payment doesn't go through because the debit card on file expired or got lost. All these random things happen. So you have to ask questions. OK, yes, you could be on someone's credit card, but ask them what their utilization is. All right. And then you can also ask how often do they use the card, and then what the payment history is like for the past 2 to 4 years. OK. And of course, people can be late. You just can't be 30 days late. OK. You can be 5 days late, 10, 25, even 28. But you cannot be 30 days late. That's when they are going to report that late payment. So as a beginner building your credit, make sure you ask those questions. The number two mistake that I see beginners making when they're building their credit is getting a credit builder account with their bank. That's the key word. Back in the day, it wasn't a lot of credit builder accounts, right? Now there's millions of them. However, some of them are underwritten and some of them are not. We'll get into that in another video. But either way, what some people would do is they would go to their bank and then just get a credit builder account. And really, it's just the bank just, essentially just giving you like a secured line of credit, whatever the case may be. But what I've seen is people overpaying for these accounts. Essentially, they end up taking out a personal loan and like of $1,000, $500, and then they're pretty much paying back themselves. But the bank is making money off the interest. OK, and you don't want to do that. There are plenty of companies that are out here outside of your bank that can work. And if of course, if you want a personalized custom game plan, then we can provide that for you here at 850 Club, or you could do it yourself with our, on our 850 Club Elite University. And we have the same exact process, inside of our 850 Club Elite University. So make sure you guys check that out. The link is down below. But if you're going with your bank, here's the reason why it's not the best move. It's simply because the bank usually charges a little bit more. For example, you may end up getting $1,000 loan and then paying $100 a month for 1 year. So now you pay $1,200 to get $1,000 of your own money. So the bank makes money off the interest just for you to build credit. Makes no sense, guys. You got to do. There's plenty of other options that are out here, and I'm not gonna name drop, because everybody's situation is different. Some of you all don't need things. See, that's another caveat, is that what got you here won't get you there. Now, as a beginner, you may not have, you're just learning this process. But what I see a lot of people in the 700s, they're like, oh, well, this helped me get 50 points or 30 points. And they end up, getting a similar account. It doesn't work like that, guys. But as beginners, I know that it's enticing. to try to get every single account that you can. But when you're working with your bank, that's not the best route to necessarily go, because there are other cheaper options to get that same result, if not better. Okay, so be careful on that one. And then third, but not least, well, I'm sorry, last, but not least. I don't know why people always say that. I don't know what that means. It just sounds good when you're about to say the last one, right? But either way, the last one is going to be applying for the wrong type of credit card. Okay, this is more common than a lot of people think. And what leads to this is that a lot of times people get attracted to the big names, American Express, Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. A lot of these major brands are not going to help you when you're in the beginning stages of credit. They need to see that you're paying somebody else. And you're probably saying, well, can I just get a secured card, with Chase and then that build a relationship with them? Absolutely. However, usually those names are usually going to be a little bit more, like a $500, secured card. I'm not saying you don't have the money. What I'm saying is that there are cards, plenty of cards out there. In which you can do a couple different things. One, if you have to get a credit card, most of the cards that you can get, they're coming in the mail right now. Okay, so you can always start with those companies. It's okay to start with Olo, First Premier, Capital One, all like those entry level cards. But instead of going by, I know what you're thinking. Well, I have my money inside of I have a checking account and a savings account with XYZ Bank. Let me go ahead and get, a credit card with them. And, again, I always tell people it's best to go with who wants your business. Not to say that your bank doesn't want your business, but usually people that want your business, they're going to send you something in the mail. Okay. And that's to start things off. And that's always kind of give you like an idea of your credit situation, is to kind of look at the mail. Okay. And that'll kind of give you like an idea of where you want to end up being at. But again, just because you're banking with the bank doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get approved for a credit card with them. Okay. There are plenty of credit card companies. I got some links down at the bottom too. And it can actually look at your credit profile for free, soft pull, and let you know, hey, what options work best for you. Okay, so that's called a card match. I got that down at the bottom as well too. That's if you want the system, the algorithm to tell you what's the best card for you to apply for. So there's always plenty of options that are available, but just make sure you're not making these same mistakes, because what ends up happening is you get all these unnecessary inquiries, and then now you're like, okay, well, how can I build my credit? Everybody doesn't grow up with parents. Number one, I'll start there. But everyone doesn't grow up around people that know about credit. My parents knew about credit. They have an idea, but at the same time, do they know enough to teach it? Do they know enough to say, hey, Calvin, do X, Y, Z? And they didn't. And that's not in a bad way. It's more like, hey, I was trying this and it worked out for me. But to say, hey, here's the recipe, no one measured that, right? And it's like, okay, this is what you need to do. But then sometimes also what works for another person may not necessarily work for you, because everybody's starting point is different. Everybody's credit profile is different. Everybody's risk factor is different. So all of that plays a major role. But those are the three mistakes that most beginners typically make when they're building their credit. Okay. So of course, if you like this video, like it. If you want to share it. And as always, be sure to subscribe, as we have nothing but great content well on the way. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day.